Well, a lot of people have been asking me why am I putting my support to President Bola TInubu for a second term, in the upcoming general election in 2027, God's willing. My name is Olayomi Koiki, popularly known as Koikimedia on the social media. Let me first say it clearly that apart from some of what we have seen in terms of his policies and what he's putting in place to checkmate the damage of what has been put through Nigerians for many decades. Also, in terms of fighting the insecurity in the country, we have seen a lot of changes. As much as we know that the banditry, the terrorism, the ISWAP are still attacking and kidnapping many Nigerians across the board as well. Also, we are seeing more infrastructure being put in place from the north to the middle belt to the southeast and the south and also the southwest as well. Also, the economic reform, it might not have affected many Nigerians in terms of putting money in your pocket, but in terms of the long term, it will make a big impact as well. Yes, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done from each of the state to the local government. Yes, poverty is still in the country, it's quite high. We need more people, to be able to feed themselves. We need good welfare, we need good education, we need good healthcare as well. Mostly as well is a Yoruba man. Many people might ask, why do I want to put my weight behind a Yoruba man? Well, when the previous administration was there, the late Muhammadu Buhari, he had a lot of support from his people as well. But it's not just about, the Yoruba people supporting a Yoruba man. We can also see that many Nigerians are now waking up to the reality of the fact that we need the continuity of President Bola TInubu to become the next president again. And this is someone speaking on the Arise Morning Show, and I want us to listen to him.
Politic North is dead and buried. The colonial masters, when they came, realized that there were areas that were now controlled by the Caliphate, neither by the Sultanate of Borno, and those areas were considered as occupying the Middle Belt area. In fact, a longitude has been demarcated, and if you visit the Willings Commission report and look at the Willings Commission map, you will see the area called the Middle Belt. Not only that, the Willings Commission went around between 1957 and 1958, conversing with Middle Belters from Zuru area in southern part of Kebbi, southern part of Kaduna, had sittings in Jos. In the northeast, where Babachir comes or hails from, they had sittings at Numan. So all these things have been documented to converse with the northern minorities as to whether or not a region should be created for the Middle Belters. It was the Willings Commission who told the Middle Belters at that time that you belong or occupy the Middle Belt area of the North, and that's how the Middle Belt thing came about. Of course, the agitators at that time had a different name, but of course they ended up as Middle Belt. Now, if people migrated to occupy some people's land, it doesn't change the demography. The original people are still there. They are Middle Belters, and we call ourselves Middle Belters. And that is who we are. Now, the North, the British wanted the North to remain monolithic for some reason. They wanted it because they wanted to hand over power to the North. And they used Middle Belters to beef up the population of the North before independence. And though before independence, if you look at the population, go back to history, all these things are there, you can Google and see. The Southeast and Bamenda had the highest population, followed by the Southwest and the North, that is including the Middle Belt, had the third population in terms of numerical strength. However, the British wanted to hand over to the North and therefore denied the Middle Belters a region for themselves. So after independence, the southern minorities were given Midwestern region for also political consideration, which now we know as used just to whittle down the strength of the Southwest. All the same, We who consider ourselves middle belters going down history and memory lane are saying we are not northerners. We are middle belters. And the North has always considered us that way anyway. When it comes to such consideration as North, they say all of us as North. But when it comes to appointments and other considerations, they don't consider us as North. So why should this hypocrisy continue? Let them just say, we are middle belters, they are northerners. Let everybody be who he is. We are not ashamed of being middle belters because we are proud of our history.
Well, you've had the young man, or the man speaking rather, talking about how the middle belt wants to remain a middle belt, and they're going to put their support to the southern part of Nigeria, which is President Bola TInubu. 2027 is a very, very decisive one. Yes, a lot of people might disagree with my views. A lot of people might not agree with it. But as someone that has also campaigned, for the right of the Yoruba people to self-determination, that does not give any reason that we cannot use politics, to change, what we want. We cannot continue in one way asking for a dissolution of the country when we are not also going to give power to the Yoruba man or the Nigerian to continue from where he has started already. So self-determination is something different, but continuity of President Bola TInubu is mandatory. It is important to checkmate many things that have gone wrong from those that think that they own Nigeria. So President Bola TInubu, your continuity is very, very important to us at this very particular time. And I am asking every Yoruba man and every Nigerian to consider to vote for President Bola TInubu come 2027. My name again is Ola Yomi Koiki, known as Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Ajuwa show Atumadibo from President Bola TInubu ní 2027. Bye for now. Iruekun kò ṣeé fi lé ajá lọ́wọ́.